Let's talk about PHP include. So PHP include is a kind of language construct in PHP that allows developers to insert the contents of one PHP file into another PHP file. So this feature is often used to include common elements like say headers or footers and navigation menus on multiple pages of a website. So instead of copying and pasting the same code on each page, the code can be written once in a separate file and include in each page that needs it. Um, right, so it's actually useful if you wanted to include a recurring functionality of the contents like menus. Okay. So if I go to the next page, so this is an example in our PHP file. You can see this is a normal PHP with PHP file. We just include in a PHP file just in a one. So we use include once, right? So include once actually ensures that the code is only included once. So that means so we have the kind of another file, HTML file, PHP menu.html file resides in our server. So what will happen is when it execute this, it will replace. So it will cut and paste actually basically the code inside here in this space, right? So whatever the text is in the file PHP menu will be inserted at this point when it actually execute include one statement, right? So this is the file name which actually include the menu item. So we don't need to actually each page to have the menu to be rewritten. So we have a one file with a menu code, so we can reuse it in our web pages again and again. Now so this is how we use the include functionality. And there is another one called require. So require statement is very similar to include, um, but um, but sometimes yeah, there is actually basically a difference between the include and requirement. So if you have include function, include will only produce a warning and the script will continue if the file is missing. But if you if you insert the require function, it will produce a fatal error and stop the script working. Okay, so that is the difference between include once and then the require, right? So if you want to execute want to an execution to go on show and use the output even if the include file is missing, use the include statement, right? So otherwise sometimes in some complex applications it's always use the require statement. It's very useful to use the require statement to include a key file to the flow of execution because it will help to avoid kind of compromising your application security and integrity, right? So just in case a key file is accidentally missing, right? So in either case, including including include or require function, it actually saves lot of work. So this means that you can create the standard headers, footers, or menu files for all your web pages. Then when the header needs to be updated, you can only update the header file, right? Because we know that this header file is used in many different places, so we don't need to rewrite the code again and again. So that is the difference between the include and the require. So we just simply include or require statement in the body section in our PHP file.